Greeting fellow modelers, have you ever seen an aircraft that packs so much firepower, too late to see World War II, but definitely came in handy in close air support? It redefined it. Presenting the AD-1 SKYRAIDER from Fly Model. Let's begin. When I first saw the kit, I always knew I wanted to redraw this, recolor it accurately to represent the aircraft during that era. This kit was a Fly Model kit, beautiful kit, really thorough, well thought out design, and like I said, had to get it done. So let's start with the cutting out of the fuselage and proceed from there. So in cutting out the fuselage formers first, I doubled it. I printed this on 150 gram sheet paper and I got another 150 gram sheet to double it. The structure of it is really intricate and beautiful. Like I said, well thought out. I was always curious how you're going to achieve that compound shape that the fuselage had, and this was giving me a fairly good idea how that was done. So now that we got the parts out, we're going to focus first on putting together the cockpit, because this is where I always usually like starting. So here, just according to the plan, we're just assembling the cockpit area, the cockpit bay. And there is where we'll have now the firewall eventually being added at the end. We're putting in the side panel walls here. But as you can see, the way how it locks itself up together was really beautiful. I love putting this together. Now remember, the original kit is 133. I did this at 1/72nd to save space where I am. Now of course, if I can do this at 1/72nd, it should be much easier for you to do at 133. Here, we're putting super glue to lock everything in place. Beautiful. Now the SKYRAIDER for me has always been that aircraft that I looked at as the stout dog, the big dog if you will, the one you call in when you need help on the ground ASAP. The amount of ordnance it carried. And another beautiful thing about it is that it participated in rescue situation. Whenever a Jolly Green was going in, which was referred to as a large helicopter that rescued down pilots, it accompanied them, laying down suppressive fire in such a way that it helped the team to extract whoever was on the ground. Here now we're doing the rear fuselage, and now you see the fuselage former going in and how it just formed the shape as it's going back. I mean, even just from the formwork alone, you can see how the shape takes place. Like I said, really beautiful. Man, I love myself a good tweezer, I must tell you. That second hole or slot that you see below on the fuselage, that is for the stabilizer when the time comes to build it. Nice. Now that everything is gone in there, we put the former here for the fin. That will help give the shape to the fin. And now that everything is fitted in, we super glue and make sure everything is in place. So now back to the cockpit. Now that we've got this and we're putting it aside, time to deal with the assembly. But look at it. You see how it's coming together pretty neat so far? So now the cockpit assembly, certain things I added. We're going to cut the main area out, deal with the folding first for it. This I also redraw and added template of what the cockpit instrument panel look like, both on the left and the right side of the pilot as well as the front. So it's modified to look a bit different. A matter of fact, if you want a great kit, because I'm not sure that Fly Model offer this anymore, you can actually find this from GPM. They have a beautiful rendition of the kit that is out, and that's recent too, so you can look into it. It's really nice. A matter of fact, I'm so tempted to get one in the future. Here, of course, I'm painting the edge. Once everything is in, I've always painted the edges. It's one of those things to get more realism out of it. We'll put the seat base in now. I cannot get over the fact that this was a hand-drawn design and it really went together like clockwork. Shout out to the author and designer of this kit. Let's deal with the instrument panels right now. Now the instrument panel, I'm doing it just like what I did with the Hawker Hurricane. We cut out the openings and use a pencil, lead pencil, to make the holes uniform to the perfect width. Get a sheet of plastic, glue to the back side, and this now when it dry I carefully cut. So that way you will have a perfect looking instrument panel that now you attach to the actual base. I should have punched in closer so you could see, but it really helps with the look of the model and it really looks good. Now we'll just add a slight little detail to our cockpit. This is a moving map board. We put it in and it really helps, it really adds. The pilot seat installation now is pretty much straightforward. It is what it was for the design back then, and it really did its job. Sometimes I have to just take a little time to just admire how a flat sheet of paper built such a beautiful model. Now you know what? We're going to go on and put on the panel to the left and the right side from the inside. Here you see I'm cutting it out, put a slight curve in it, and a little bend at the top, which would serve as the lip or the edge. Once that's in, we're going to put in our control column. So we cut out 1mm solder wire, bend it according to what the instructions were on that sheet, and we're going to put in place. Nice. A mix of super glue and regular glue works. Put in the headrests. Lovely. We're spending a little time here just painting the back off and added seat belts and the restraint harness. It's the little things like these that really bring a model alive. And there we go. So now the fuselage assembly. We're going to do the forward, then the rear fuselage. Of course, like I said again, this is just my personal recolor to really bring alive the Fly Model kit. And if you're really interested in building this one, please go look for the GPM kit. It's really good. So here, of course, cardinal rule, always paint edges close as possible to the color that you have on the main panel. So the mud color, the earth color, the olive drab color, the dark green, and these now are just joiner tabs I put, because now we're going to join and align the panel to what's there on either side, and we should be good. Now remember, the rule is nothing else matters on the inside long as you get the panel line looking good. So first you start with the prop blade, the nose of the machine, the front of it. and then the panel lines. Everything else is secondary. Here I'm putting in the top of the instrument panel cover. This, what I'm cutting out here now, is the rear of the office, as I call it, the cockpit. So this is to hold both together. Make sure the panel lines are aligned. Awesome. Do it to the other side and we're good. And that's how I did it. Yes, the panel lines are a little heavy. I know that is something that while I was still learning how to do recolors, but you know what? It worked. Here now we're doing the rear fuselage. Now, here's the thing. We have to roll the rear fuselage and preform it. The more we preform it, the better it will attach itself to the formers. So this now we have to do with great care. Then we put joiner tabs. We make our own joiner tabs. So this is me now making sure to just put generous amount, because here's where the magic happens. We're joining the front first. Once we join the front, then we slowly go along and join the rear. That's how it works. Putting in a good amount of joiner tabs. We cut so that it will form properly. And then we just make sure that both are settled. And just like that, you have your model. Take the time to paint where you need to paint to make sure that the tabs look uniform. Now we're going to just add our cockpit framework, glue and lock and secure in place, and that's it. Now we put in the rear framework that will hold that area really good. This model is going to look really good when we are completed with it. Thank you so much for joining me on this unique journey. It's going to be a 6-part series, so you can look out for so much more. Thank you so much to my Patreon members who make this all happen. Please like and subscribe if you get any enjoyment from this. Until then, my friends, take care, peace out, and one love.